What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel, T Alexa. My name is T and I'm back with another video. So today I have for you a boneless chicken and rice recipe. And I know that there are a lot of variations of chicken and rice recipes out there. Today I have a recipe and the name of the recipe is called Cowboy Chicken and Rice. So how many of you out there love to go to Chipotle? I know I do, and I normally go to Chipotle maybe once or twice a month, and every time I go to Chipotle I end up getting the same thing, the chicken and rice bowl. Comment down below if you like to go to Chipotle and tell me some of the things that you like to get whenever you go to Chipotle. So this recipe kind of reminds you of the bowl that you get whenever you go to Chipotle, but there are a few ingredients that are the same and there are some ingredients that are different, which makes this particular recipe very interesting and gives it a different taste. So if you're interested in knowing how to make cowboy chicken and rice, I want you to hang out with me and I'll show you how to make it. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to get started washing and cutting our chicken. And this is 1.5 pounds of chicken. Okay, so now I'm done washing my chicken and now I'm going to slice my chicken up, and I just usually use my kitchen shears to do this because it's easier than using a knife. If you prefer to use a knife, you're more than welcome to, but this is just the way that I do it. And I cut my chicken up into bite-sized pieces. It seems like every time I start to do a video, my nose will start to run, and I don't know why. I've made this recipe a bunch of different times for my family, and they really like this recipe. I like this recipe too. And it's also a really quick weeknight meal. Say if you are a working parent, or you don't even have to be a parent, you know, you can, even if you just work. This recipe right here is so quick. It is super quick. I should say this is like a 30-minute meal because I mean, everything is pretty much done but the chicken. The only thing you have to do is like cook the chicken and make sure that the chicken is done, and then all of your other ingredients that you're going to be adding is done. You're basically just going to be reheating the other ingredients. Alright, so now I have cut up my chicken and we're going to move to the next step. Okay. Alright, so before we move to the next step, there is one thing that I want to tell you. Anytime you wash raw meat in the sink, you need to make sure that you always disinfect your sink. If your raw meat touches your countertops, make sure that you always disinfect, because raw meat has a lot of bacteria and germs in it, and we don't want to contaminate our kitchen and leave germs everywhere that would make you or your family sick. So what I do is I always get some disinfecting spray, and I'll just spray my kitchen sink down. And if I got some on my countertop, I'll put some on my countertop, and I'll spray it down, and I'll let this sit for about maybe 15-20 minutes so it can disinfect. And after 15 or 20 minutes, I'll wash the sink out, and then we'll be good to go. Okay, so before we begin, I am going to go over the ingredient list with you. You're going to need salt, pepper, garlic powder, red wine vinegar, garlic herb seasoning, olive oil to saute your chicken. You're going to need some W sauce. You're going to need some brown rice that is already done, the microwavable kind. I'm not sure what aisle it would be on at your grocery store, but it comes in a pack of 2, and it's 8 ounces, a pack of 2. You're going to need white chili beans, and these are seasoned white chili beans. You're going to need seasoned collard greens. You're going to need 2 cups of frozen corn. You're going to need a half a can of fire roasted tomatoes. So now we are going to begin with seasoning our chicken. So we're going to add some salt. We're going to add a little bit of pepper. And my favorite seasoning, everybody knows I love garlic. Oh, I love it on my meat. My favorite things to add on my meat, and what I add all the time, is salt, pepper, and garlic whenever I season my meat. It's like my house seasoning. This right here is the garlic herb seasoning. So I'm just gonna add a couple of handfuls of that, maybe several handfuls, because I like a lot of the seasoning. And this right here is red wine vinegar, and we're just going to pour that on there, and I'm just going to let the seasonings marry with the meat and get happy. I may add a little bit more seasonings on here, probably some more salt, because chicken requires a lot of salt. So I'll probably add more salt. I'll probably add some more garlic seasoning herb dressing. And this is how I like to cook and season my meat. You don't have to do yours this way. If you don't like a lot of seasoning, don't add a lot of seasoning. It's your choice. It's your house. You're the chef. You can do what you want. So now we can get started sauteing our chicken. So I'm going to add some olive oil. My pan has already been preheating some. And I'll just go ahead and add my chicken. So right now I'm just sauteing my chicken until it gets done. Once my chicken is done, what I'll do is I'll get back with you. My chicken has been simmering for about 4 to 5 minutes now, and we can go ahead and add the other ingredients. We are adding fire roasted tomatoes. We are adding the 2 cups of corn. And we are adding the brown rice. And this needs to saute, or actually not saute, that's not the right word. This needs to simmer for about 2 to 3 minutes. Well, actually that's what the recipe says, but I always let mine cook longer because I don't feel like 2 or 3 minutes is enough. So I'll just let it cook until I feel like that's good enough. And then you're going to add the chili beans and the collard greens last. I would probably just go ahead and add my collard greens just because, so some of that juice can cook out. You're actually supposed to add that last, but I like to add mine with these ingredients that's in the pot, and I think it'll give it time for like the flavors to go together. I would add the beans last because the beans are easy to break apart. So you want to add your beans last because you have to stir this. And if you stir it while the beans are in there, your beans are going to break apart. So I am going to let this cook, and then I'll be back. We are down to our final ingredient, which is the white chili, or the white chili beans. And I'm just going to add this in there, and I'll just kind of like fold it in there so that I don't break my beans up. And I'll just let this cook for just a few more minutes because the chili beans are pretty much just done. You are just warming those up, and then after that our recipe is done. So I'm back with the best part of the video where I actually get to taste the food. You guys, this recipe is really, really good. I hope you give it a try. Comment down below if you guys give this recipe a try, and don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. What's up, YouTube? My name... Did it even record? Oh my God. Jordan. I'm gonna do that over. And that's a wrap.